TV shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer tend to leave a lasting mark, especially when they manage to balance supernatural thrills with complex character arcs, which is what makes the cancellation of one of Sarah Michelle Gellar's follow-up shows so frustrating. Buffy wasn't just a genre-defining teen horror series. It was a sharp, emotional story of identity, trauma, and power, told through one of the most iconic female leads of the 90s and early 2000s. Sarah Michelle Gellar's performance as Buffy Summers helped make the show a cultural phenomenon, and it still draws new fans today thanks to its serialized storytelling and strong emotional undercurrents. For those who've already rewatched Buffy multiple times, there's another Sarah Michelle Gellar-led series out there that scratches a surprisingly similar itch. It's not packed with vampires or hellmouths, but this overlooked show delivers its own moody tone, sharp plot twists, and dual identity drama that will feel instantly familiar to longtime Buffy fans. It's a darker, slicker, more adult drama, but one that still lets Gellar showcase the emotional depth and screen presence that made Buffy work so well. Though it only aired for one season back in 2011, it proved that Gellar could still carry a twisty genre show with ease. It's time this gem got the credit it deserves. Sarah Michelle Gellar played twins in the underrated crime drama series, Ringer. Gellar took on double duty in a pulpy thriller full of lies, deception, and dark secrets. After years away from the genre TV spotlight following the end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sarah Michelle Gellar returned in 2011 with Ringer, a neo-noir thriller that allowed her to flex her acting muscles in ways Buffy fans hadn't seen before. Ringer, which aired on the CW, featured Gellar in dual roles as estranged twin sisters Bridget Kelly and Siobhan Martin, two women with very different lives and very dangerous secrets. Bridget is a recovering addict and former stripper on the run from the FBI after witnessing a murder. Siobhan, on the other hand, is a wealthy socialite with a picture-perfect life, or so it seems. When the sisters reunite after years apart, Siobhan mysteriously disappears while the two are out on a boat. Believing her sister may be dead and seeing a chance to escape her past, Bridget assumes Siobhan's identity, only to realize that her sister's world is just as full of peril as her own. What follows is a high-stakes, twist-filled journey of deception, with Gellar playing both roles often in the same scene. Ringer leaned heavily into its noir influences, complete with glamorous settings, morally grey characters, and secrets unraveling at every turn. The show's unique premise gave Gellar a rich playground to explore two fully realized, and deeply flawed, characters. Her performances as Bridget and Siobhan were strikingly different, proving just how much range she truly has. Ringer also allowed fans to see her handle intense emotional drama and nail-biting suspense outside the supernatural trappings of Buffy. While Ringer never reached the same cult status, it absolutely delivered a performance-driven thriller that deserved far more recognition. Ringer deserved better than being cancelled after one season. Ringer never got the second chance it deserved. Sarah Michelle Gellar as Siobhan and Bridget on Ringer. Ringer premiered with plenty of buzz in 2011, especially since it marked Sarah Michelle Gellar's return to television in a leading role, years after the end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. With its Hitchcockian tone and high-stakes mystery, Ringer aimed to blend prestige drama with genre storytelling. A mix that seemed perfect for post-Buffy fans growing up with their tastes. However, despite a strong pilot and a dedicated fanbase, the show was cancelled after just one season, leaving its complex storylines unresolved and its central mysteries unfinished. Part of the blame for Ringer being cancelled falls on behind-the-scenes instability. Ringer was originally developed for CBS, but ultimately aired on the CW, a network with a different target demographic and smaller audience reach. Its serialized storytelling and noir tone didn't quite match the network's younger skewing lineup, which leaned more toward supernatural and teen-focused shows like The Vampire Diaries and Gossip Girl. As a result, Ringer struggled to find its ideal audience. Ratings began strong but quickly dropped as the first season of Ringer progressed, and despite its devoted fan following, the show simply didn't bring in the numbers the CW needed. Critics were divided, some praised its bold storytelling and Gellar's performance, while others felt the plot was too convoluted. But in hindsight, Ringer was ahead of its time. Its twist-heavy structure and serialized mystery format are now standard fare for streaming dramas, and with a Netflix or HBO-style rollout, it likely would have fared far better. What makes the cancellation of Ringer sting even more is how much narrative potential was left on the table. The final episode ended with major cliffhanger, including shocking revelations about Siobhan's true motives and Bridget's growing realization that she may not be able to keep up the charade much longer. The show had barely scratched the surface of its premise, and it's hard not to imagine how much further it could have gone in a second or third season. Despite its brief run, Ringer offered something rare, a smart, stylish crime thriller that gave Sarah Michelle Gellar one of her most ambitious roles. Just like many TV shows like Buffy cancelled before their time, it deserved a longer lifespan to fully explore its richly tangled world. Why Buffy fans will love Ringer. Both shows center on identity, duality, and strong women facing impossible choices. Sarah Michelle Gellar in Ringer. Fans of Buffy the Vampire Slayer looking for another smart, emotionally charged drama with a strong lead performance will find plenty to love in Ringer. While the two shows differ in genre, Buffy being a supernatural horror series and Ringer a noir-tinged crime thriller, they share key themes that make them surprisingly compatible. At its core, Ringer is a story about identity, just like Buffy. Bridget's decision to take on her sister's life echoes Buffy's own struggle to live a double life as a high school student and the Slayer. Both characters face moral ambiguity and emotional weight. Bridget is constantly torn between doing what's right and protecting herself, a theme Buffy explored extensively. Sarah Michelle Gellar brings the same emotional vulnerability and quiet strength to Bridget that she did to Buffy, making Ringer feel like a natural evolution for viewers who grew up with the Slayer and are now drawn to more adult, psychologically rich stories. Ringer also features complex female relationships, much like the friendships and rivalries in Buffy. The dynamic between Bridget and Siobhan, two women who are alike on the surface but deeply different underneath, is reminiscent of Buffy and Faith's combative but compelling bond. Both shows highlight how identity can be shaped, fractured, and rebuilt through the roles women are expected to play. Plus, just as Buffy was layered with metaphor, Ringer uses its twin swap setup to explore how trauma, guilt, and reinvention define people.